want to stand, you can check.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I feel honored by the reception, and I take the honor and I report back to the people of Uganda that indeed in America people refer to me exactly how the people meant it. But I must also mention that it was not, and it is not an end in itself, just me being president, because it's not about me being president. Even if I don't become president, we just want to be free. We just want to see that freedom in our lifetime. I was only 4 years when General Museveni took power in 1986. I'm almost a grandfather now. So we just want to see that freedom in our lifetime, regardless of whether or not I become president. I think it's very important to make it clear that our aspiration is to be free. And I'm just leading the charge right now. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to be at the front of it, but we just want to be free in our lifetime. And we will be free. Quite a number of questions, but I'll question. Let me start from top. My sister asked a very deep question. I think it was a comment about my personal security. And now I can guarantee it. I regret to inform you that I can't guarantee enough damage to the forces of oppression. It did not start with me. So many people have been in this struggle. Many of them have gotten worn out. Many of them have gone. But now we are here. And we strongly believe that we are the generation to fulfill the promise. I can't guarantee my security, but the last time I was close to getting killed was when I was abducted by the military. I spent 3 days when nobody knew where I was, but internationally, people that I knew and many people that I didn't know raised their voices. They protested, they made noise, and the regime was pressured and released me. So I want to say that just like I owe my life to the protests that happened all over the world, I'm still at the mercy of those international voices. So please kindly keep your attention on Uganda, and whenever you see that I or anybody else has disappeared, your voices are the life-changing voices. We depend on them greatly, greatly. I must also inform you that I'm going back to Uganda next week. Yeah. I don't know what to expect, but I'll be alive. Yeah. My brother also asked us to come up with a fact sheet about Uganda, and I agree. I'm very honored to be working alongside my able elder brothers like Professor Limadi here. We have a leadership, a chapter here. I will ask them to take that upon themselves to see that those facts are put together and are spread as far wide as possible. Now, brother asked me about the music. What advice do I give to an artist who wants to make it, but not on the basis of Western capitalism or the bling-bling or that? I'll first say music is super, super effective. I'm standing here not because I'm the most educated or I'm the most knowledgeable. As a matter of fact, I come from that generation that was mentally sterile for a very long time. We didn't care about what happened in our society. Personally, and I'll tell you a very quick story. In my early 20s, I was like any other excited artist. I grew up with my mother, my father, my family lost all their wealth when Museveni is coming to power. So when I was growing up, my mother warned me and all my siblings to keep out of politics, because that was the reason why we ended up in the ghetto in the first place. So I worked so hard, became a super famous artist. I drove the first Cadillac Escalade in town with 24-inch spinning wheels, and I was accomplished until this one fateful day when I was walking in waves and moving out of a nightclub, when a young man my age walked up to me, because all the girls had their eyes on me, and he felt like I was stealing the show from him. So he walked up to me and slapped me. Before I turned to fight back, he pulled a gun and put it on my face, slapped me some more, and said, "Yo, why are you showing off? Don't you know this country has owners?" That's when I realized that, you know, my fame and fortune did help when I was still oppressed. And using my fame and the effectiveness of my music, I changed and it became edutainment instead of entertainment. I started addressing the issues that many people had been facing, but I was, you know, covered from, or so I thought. So I realized the importance of my music, and since then, my music even got deeper in the hearts of the people, because I was singing about their predicament, I was singing about their situation. Music is very important. No wonder my music is now banned in Uganda. My name is banned in Uganda. My music cannot play on TV or on radio, and if you're caught playing my music, you risk your life. But guess what? My music is still the most popular music in Uganda. So, music is powerful. Now, to answer your question, what's my advice to an artist that wants to rise up but from the depth of his soul? I'll say, stay real. Keep real and keep true. Because when you sing the truth, actually that's when you get the real fans. Those that identify with you, they might come slow, but every fan that you get will be an ardent fan forever. You will grow with those people. I've been able to grow with those fans. We breathe the same air even before we meet, because we are looking at something bigger than ourselves. This music is just an element that brings us together. So, sticking to what's right, speaking the truth and representing the truth and the reality, in my view and in my experience as an artist, is unbeatable. I don't know if that was the question, but I thought this, I understood it. It's as if you were asking whether we have sought any redress from any court. Was that the question? Yes, in Uganda, General Museveni is a god, for lack of a better word. He has the parliament in his pocket. He has the courts of law in his pocket. He is the law, and the law is him. His son will make a pronouncement, no matter how illegal it is, and it will be taken by the courts and by all people. So we don't expect any justice in Uganda. However, we went ahead and we petitioned the International Criminal Court. We put a case against General Museveni in the International Criminal Court, and this follows the massacre that happened on the 18th and 19th of November 2020, where more than 150 of our supporters, including men, women, and children, even old people, that were gunned down by the military. On camera, it was covered by BBC, by CNN, by Al Jazeera. We took him to the International Criminal Court. We hope that the International Criminal Court will do the right thing, but we just want to make sure that we tick every legal box across the globe. So we took General Museveni to the International Criminal Court. We also hope to bring another case in the East African Court of Justice. But we also know that, you know, we are dealing with an extremely empowered and, you know, a regime that has been in power for 37 years. We only do the right thing, and we hope these institutions will also do the right thing. That is how far we can go internationally. Locally, we are galvanizing our people to resist, to continue resisting, even under tough conditions. My brother asked, what does Pan-Africanism mean to me or to us? Pan-Africanism, as far as I know, is the rooting for or the desire to uplift African people or people of African descent all over the world. As told to us by our forefathers, the likes of Kwame Nkrumah, the likes of Nyerere, and many other forefathers and mothers that came before us. And that's what we know, what is supposed to be done. Unfortunately, there's a different version of Pan-Africanism by the African leaders, majority of them. In fact, it's not only a redefinition of Pan-Africanism, it's also a redefinition of these continental and regional blocks, the East African Community, the African Union, and all that. I'm afraid to note painfully that the East African Community and the African Union have been reduced to presidents' clubs to look out for each other against their people, but not for the African people. You'll notice that it's the African people that suffer most in Africa. It is harder for an African man, for a black man like me, to cross from one African country to another, and it's much easier for a white man. It is more dangerous for an African man like myself to live in an African country called South Africa because of the xenophobia, where we Africans are seen as intruders, but the Europeans are saluted and have a red carpet rolled out for them. It is more painful for a black Ugandan man to do business in Uganda than a Chinese or Indian man or woman. That's the kind of Pan-Africanism that our blackleaders are showing us. I mean, recently when we had the COVID pandemic and we had our black brothers and sisters in countries like China segregated and blocked from housing. I dealt with some African brothers here in the US, and we were able to charter a plane to fly them back, but no African government would allow us to land, including Uganda. So that's the kind of Pan-Africanism that we are having. We are being mortgaged. What is African to the leaders of Africa? Majority of the leaders is the resources, not the people. So, according to me, I believe that Pan-Africanism should be the upliftment of the African people, not African leaders. It should be about the people. And not only Pan-Africanism, but even the regional and continental blocks, they should be about the people, bringing the people together and looking out for the people, the populations, and not the leaders. Unfortunately, it is the leaders and not the people. We, the people, are seen as